Hey guys, how's it going? We're taking a deep dive into how to get started with Xcode so you can build that app that you always wanted to create but never had the tools to do so. Let's go deep. Now, in this video, we are looking at the project settings and the file navigator area. If you follow the first video of this series, you already know how to set up a new project, and you are already familiarized with the various panes of Xcode and their features and capabilities. In the project settings, we can start looking at the targets on the left. We have our app name, which is the specific app that will be run on the simulator or the actual device. The top part refers the identity of the app, which we covered on the first video. Then the target, where you can specify the iOS version your app will target. This is very important for backwards compatibility with older iPhones or devices where the users haven't updated to the most recent versions of the Apple operating system for iPhone. For instance, if you want to use SwiftUI on your project, be advised that only iPhones running iOS 13 will be able to install your app. You can choose if your app is going to run on iPadOS as well, or even Mac. Then you can choose the main interface for this project. The supported device orientations. For example, you may only permit the landscape orientation in case you are developing a game. Below, you can point to where are your app icons and launch screen. If you add external frameworks or libraries, that would be dealt with in the section below. Signing and capabilities is important when you want to run your app in actual iPhones or submit the app to the App Store. Build settings contain some important configurations related to the building and running of your app. For example, the architecture is supported 64 or 32 bits. Several options for debug or release modes of your app. You may want to print a lot of debug messages on your console, but maybe that won't be an expected behavior for an app in release mode. There are several advanced features in this panel related to compiling and linking, something we won't worry about at this time. But keep in mind that if you want to create your own libraries in the future, you will be using a lot of this area of Xcode. Build phases shows the several building steps, like any external dependencies you may have, the code files that will have to be compiled, any linked libraries, and the static resource files. Don't forget you always have a search field on the top in any of these panes. Let's look at the file navigator area. The app delegate and scene delegate files are responsible for some starting up events and end of the app life cycle. The view controller controls the logic of your first screen on your app. The main.storyboard only shows up if you choose storyboards as UI. As a quick example, you can press on the plus button on the top and drag visual UI elements to build your UIs. Take a look at the inspector area where you can configure different options. The assets folder is where you place your static elements such as app icons, images, or even specific colors you want to use on your palette. And then you can call these assets from anywhere inside the code of your app. Another storyboard is the launch screen, which specifies the launch screen which appears for a few seconds when your app is opened. The info.plist file stands for properties list, and you can see several properties of your app. You can store properties specifically designed by you. For example, what's the user volume level preference, permissions for location, Bluetooth, NFC, and so on. Another tab on the Navigator area is the search bar tab, where we can search for a specific word or set of words in the entire project. This is a very essential feature, especially when our code starts to include multiple files. That will be all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like the video and click the subscribe button. We'll be back soon for another video where we're going to continue diving into Xcode. See you next time.